Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Ceresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to the ISE Equity Index Outlook for May 24th, 2010. This is Patrick Ceresna. As always, we start off with a chart of the S&P 500 using that spider exchange traded fund symbol SPY. When we were getting that counter rally last week, we were suggesting that if the bulls weren't able to get it above the 117 to 118 area, then the market would roll over and begin a backfilling move to fill in the flash crash that occurred earlier last week. And essentially, at this stage, we've now seen a full sell-off come right down to that 105, 106 focal point on the downside with a very strong reversal on the Friday of option expiration. Now, reversal is a very good sign of a potential bounce that's going to follow through for a couple of days, but it will be so critical to see whether or not we get a follow-through candle. One-day reversals, if they don't have the follow-through, then the sellers will use that strength to unwind all their positions and then bring new waves of selling. So if we see Monday and Tuesday come in nice and strong and reverse it, then we could easily see 112 to 114 on the upside come pretty quick on the S&P. But in the same regards, if we come out Monday and don't have any follow through on the upside much higher than 110 and then suddenly kind of tapers, then we could be all the way back down at 105, 106 on the downside within the middle of the week as well. Any sell-off, if it rolls over, if we do not get that bounce, which we are expecting, but if we don't get that bounce and it rolls back down, this sell cycle should end all the way down towards the 100 to 104 area on the downside. That's going to be a completed measured move on the downside with a number of key support lines down there. Now, that's only our downside target if we roll over on Monday or Tuesday. If we see follow through on the upside, then we don't want to be sellers yet. Even though we are looking for that bounce higher, do not construe that as being bullish on the market. This is an oversold market that is overdue for a snapback rally, but that rally in the bigger picture probably will get distributed down the road. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE US Regional Banks Index, which is symbol JLO. The other week, we saw a retest of its previous highs at the 28 to 28.50 area, which was actually showing some relatively good price action comparatively to the broader market. But this past week brought in some very aggressive selling, which has actually created some technical breakdowns on the regional banks. At this stage, that solidifies the idea that 28 to 28.50 area is some sort of a short-term to intermediate top in the markets, and more than likely, even if we get that counter rally like we're expecting in the S&P, that upside will probably not get broken on counter rallies, and therefore any of the rallies in the regional banks should probably be distributed into. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Sindex, which is a symbol SIN. This is an index of all the casino, tobacco, and distiller companies. And here we saw a very distinct rollover and again a very bearish price action as we have now technically broken to lower lows than our zone there in the 108 to 110 area on the downside. The measured moves on the downside go as low as even the 103 area. But overall, this wave of selling is very mature. Even if the whole market rolls over, we could see selling intensify a little bit more, but overall we're expecting some sort of a bounce in the Sindex from here. But this is a bearish pattern, and therefore any rallies, just like the broader markets, at some stage will be an opportunity to distribute or sell, but at first we are expecting some sort of a legitimate counter rally. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Home Builders Index, which is symbol RUF, and the story here is identical to that of the Sindex or even the regional banks. We've got very aggressive selling that has broken to lower lows on the downside. There's some nice support lines down below here where the home builders will probably find some sort of a short-term bottom and counter rally, but like in the other indices, when that rally finally tapers, it probably will be another opportunity to distribute into the summer. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Natural Gas Index, which is symbol FUM. Here we've seen a measured move on the downside, hit our downside targets, which measured all the way down to even the 90 level on the downside. Again, we're expecting counter rallies here, but this is some pretty negative price action. Unless we see a very dramatic reversal and rally up in these natural gas stocks, then more than likely they again will come back and retest down at these lower ends after some sort of a good counter rally. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Mini FTSE 100 Index, which is a symbol UKX, and more or less we've seen some very dramatic and intense selling coming in the London market, far more dramatic than even what we've seen in the American markets, and more or less we're coming into what we now broaden the support line down at the 500 to 510 area. There's a chance of the counter rally, especially if the counter rallies occur on a more global scale. But if any counter rallies we get here, if they fail, then the downside targets are as low as the 465 to 480 area on the downside. That was your ISE Equity Index Outlook. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade alerts, visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE index options, visit us at www.ise.com/indexoptions.